Just make it quick, Geralt.
Well, this is it, guys. My very first game review.
What are you doing?
Today, we're going to talk about The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt.
I'm a witcher. Heard you wondering about my swords. Well, one's for monsters, the other for humans.
The Witcher 3: Wild Hunt is an action RPG with a third-person view. Now, this game is set in a sort of fantasy version of medieval Europe, and we play as this character called Geralt of Rivia. So this world comes with your typical fantasy tropes, such as elves, dwarves, and mages. Unfortunately though, this world comes with a lot of monsters. That's where monster hunters, known as witchers, come to play. And the most famous of them all is Geralt the White Wolf. So this game follows Geralt as he tries to find his surrogate daughter Ciri. Ciri is being pursued by an evil group of elves known as the Wild Hunt. Now the Wild Hunt is trying to capture her in order to gain the powers that's contained within her blood.
No man who meets the hunt returns to this world.
I returned.
Now we all know that The Witcher originated from Andrzej Sapkowski's books. This gaming masterpiece came from Polish developers known as CD Projekt Red. Now admittedly, I'm not normally an RPG guy, but back in 2015 and after seeing all the marketing, I just knew I had to get my hands on this game. So after the initial excitement of getting this game, I found myself absolutely hating it. And you know why? Let me tell you why. Because I f***ing sucked. As a newcomer to RPGs, I couldn't really get to grips with having my weapons damaged and having to repair them. The crafting system was complicated, particularly for a novice like myself.
Stop it. Get some help.
So after a lot of practice and watching countless hours of YouTube tutorial videos, I found myself liking this game more and more. So in other words, I got good.
Oh my God! Wow!
So as I got good and progressed through the game, I started to appreciate it for what it really is, a masterpiece. This game's got everything, from its captivating storyline, interesting characters, and immersive gameplay. Not to mention the beautifully arranged soundtrack to go with it. This game proved to be so popular amongst fellow gamers that many fan groups emerged after its release. I decided to call upon one particular fan group to compile a list of some of this game's best and worst features. So let's start with some of the worst aspects of this game. Let's talk about Geralt's inability to clear objects during combat. All it takes is something like a rock or a low wall or anything at least 1 foot high and Geralt can get trapped during combat. And the map of Skellige, as beautiful as it is, I dread seeing all those points of interest in the sea. Because it involves you having to get on a boat and travel for ages just to reach them. I can't even begin to describe how many times I've fallen asleep trying to get to those islands. I remember so many times I've been woken up by my controller vibrating because I crashed into a damn island. And man, don't get me started on those boats. These boats are so fragile that all it takes is a little bump and you're going down like the Titanic.
Iceberg, right ahead!
If you lose your boat in the middle of the ocean of Skellige, you've got a lot of swimming to do.
It's been 84 years.
As I mentioned previously, and as a newcomer to the game, I found that the crafting system and the inventory was really daunting and frustrating to learn. Another gripe that I have is just how easy it is for Geralt to obtain injuries, more specifically due to fall damage. He's fighting monsters at every given opportunity, but my God, if he falls off something the height of a bar stool, he did! Let's talk about the clunky controls. Where do I begin? How about from the looting, the walking, riding on Roach, using the crossbow, swimming, and even climbing. The Roach glitches are hilarious. Also, the combat can be a little bit button bashy. Sure, there's some smooth movements here, but I feel like all I have to do is smash square or triangle and Geralt just does the rest for me. And another personal gripe of mine is having to get off Roach just to trigger fast travel. And lastly, those loading screens. They just take too damn long.
One eternity later.
Now let's talk about the many things the game does well. Many of the characters are realistically flawed and multi-layered, each with their own unique story and goals. This includes some strong female protagonists such as Ciri, Yennefer, and Triss. It's got a massive open world filled with so many things to see and do, including some of the best side quests I've ever seen. The lore itself is so steeped in history that it really helps giving us that sense of immersion. This game offers a variety of different playing styles. You can be into magic, potions, explosives, swords, or any combination. And let's talk about the beautiful immersive soundtrack that really puts you into that world. You can expect some different results and consequences, depending on the choices that you make throughout the game. Your choices do matter. The choices you make determines the direction your game can follow, which can result in one of 36 different potential endings. The base game was great, but if you include the expansions of Hearts of Stone and Blood and Wine, man, you're in for a treat. This game definitely isn't for kids, because there's a lot of in-game sex here. And no STDs! Now before I share my final thoughts, just a quick reminder to click like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications to my weekly reviews. And if you like my content and you're feeling generous, become one of my valued subscribers by signing up to my Patreon. Check out the link in the description below. And now, for my final thoughts.
Been through hell and high water, you and me.
Starting off with the lows, we've got a non-user-friendly inventory and crafting system, random glitches, clunky controls, and slow loading screens. And as for the highs, we've got interesting and multi-layered characters, a massive open world including the expansion packs, an immersive soundtrack, and a variety of different endings depending on the choices you make.
Thanks for everything.
So overall, it's not a perfect game, but my god, can we commend CD Projekt Red for the effort in getting it so close. So if you've only tried the books or the Netflix series, I suggest that you run out and get yourself a copy of The Witcher 3. This game is so good that I think it can easily be considered as one of the greatest of all time. A quick thank you to all my fellow Witcher 3 fans out there who've kindly shared their thoughts and insights of this game with me. Please look out for your name at the end of this video. Have you played Witcher 3 yet? If so, tell me your thoughts in the comment section below.
Do it! Just do it!
And while you're there, let me know which game I should review next. And who am I, you ask? I'm Henry Cavill. Bye for now.
Witchers, the ultimate killing machines. Among Us, a legend.